It's amazing this early on in the story how the plot twists are just interweaving and crossing over each other and just, man, keeps you on your toes. Naruto number 16. Who are you? What do you mean, who am I?
And the plot thickens, man. Oh, it's just like a great action and mystery novel all rolled into one. Well, hello, my brothers and sisters of the Nerd Nation. I, as always, am Jim, here to bring you another review on the awesome and the kind of, I guess, mysterious tale of Naruto. Our last chapter saw us with really the kind of Zabuza and Kakashi just, kind of going head to head. Kakashi looking like he had, he had him well in hand, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere, Zabuza was hit with a couple of, I don't know, like little pin-like darts almost, man, that, almost like tiny little arrows, and hit right in the side of the neck or whatever, and is apparently dead. So we wind up seeing the chapter ended with this mysterious masked figure up in the tree that was the one that threw those, and looked sort of like a sideways question mark on this boy or girl's face. I don't really know, a man, woman, whatever. So that's how the chapter left off. That's kind of where the chapter picks up over here. We actually go and get, yeah, I should say, yeah, because it does pick up pretty much right there. You wind up going and seeing what happens, and this particular person is revealed as, Kakashi asks, first of all, it says, hey, sorry for interfering, but, that was kind of like my kill. I wanted to end his life, And so this person winds up saying, yes, I am part of the elite, the elite ninja, the elite shinobi squad that is tasked with hunting down rogues from our village, which Zabuza would be, clearly, because of probably all of his death and destruction and just killing people, So anyway, they wind up going and they're kind of like, and Naruto gets pissed off, right? He's really irritated, and he's just like, he's, getting all mad about stuff, and Kakashi's like, what's the matter? And Naruto's like, what the hell? What are we? What are we, a bunch of idiots? We should have been able to take out this thing. We were, because basically this kid is about as old as them or younger, and even Kakashi goes and makes mention of that about how, can't believe that this child is, probably the same age or maybe a little younger or older than his students, and is already a full-fledged shinobi, and one of these elite shinobi hunters, not to mention, too. This is like the Special Forces Spec Ops Task Squad, right? So he's just like, all right, whatever. And he's like, Naruto, you're just going to have to get over it, buddy, okay? Because, it's not often that you wind up, you'll wind up running into many different people that are stronger than you or better than you and are stronger than me. So Kakashi goes and tries to deflect that and make him feel a little better. Like, listen, this person's stronger than I am, okay? I'm not even going to mess with him. So anyway, this ninja person winds up going and saying, all right, and I'm going to go dispose of the body because we can't leave any evidence for the remains and blah, 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 and just poof, disappears, right, with the body, and they're like, what the hell? So then all of a sudden Kakashi goes and she just collapses, right? And it's because he used the Sharingan Eye so much that it just puts such a toll and strain on the body and the mind. And anyway, they wind up going and they wind up getting back to Zuna's house. Now they assume that that everything is going to be fine. They assume that the major villain that has come after them has been taken care of, so they should be all right. And then they kind of just go in and just cut right to them all being in the house and Kakashi waking up. We're introduced very quickly as well, very briefly, I should say, to Tsunami, which is she's Mr. Tezuna's 28-year-old daughter, and she's kind of helping get Kakashi, nurse him back to health. He's laying there obviously, and she even talks about that is it really worth it, the strain that using the Sharingan Eye puts on your body and this and that. And so then they wind up going having this little bit of kind of chill, relaxed time, I guess you would say, where, Naruto and the bunch, they're all just kind of hanging out in the house. They're having a little bite to eat, and just thinking everything's good and hunky-dory, right? And we find out a little bit as well about the background of this elite shinobi group from the Village of the Mist, and they're actually called, I believe they're called like the Tombstone something, the Tombstone Undertaker, something like that, because basically they never leave any bodies. Their job is to make sure that they go in there and that they completely dismember or dismantle the bodies, because otherwise you would be able to, I guess, if it was to fall into enemy hands, they could find out everything, any type of drug or poison that person's ever ingested. And same thing with like Kakashi. He explains if his body was ever recovered by enemies, they could go and see some of the secrets of the Sharingan Eye and maybe some of the different moves that he knew and everything else. Kind of like one of those, you can't leave any evidence because the body tells many tales, I guess, you know. And that's kind of what they're getting at. So that's why this clan, you know, this elite group, this Black Ops group, if you will, kind of goes in, takes care of business, and then, you know, winds up disposing of the body, you know. And even Sakura's like, oh, that's gross, because they dismember and obviously take apart the bodies. And it is kind of gross, but whatever. So then we go in and we wind up getting it. It takes us back into, you know, I guess wherever this little ninja, who we still haven't been introduced to, by the way, is. And this ninja is standing over Zabuza's body, and then goes and is like, okay, I'm just gonna go and cut. And Zabuza has like this, he has like a mask that he puts on. It's almost like the bottom part of like a ski mask that goes over, you know, like a bank robber would wear, a handkerchief type thing over the bottom of his face, his mouth. Covers his mouth, and this, he's like, oh, I'm gonna cut off this and, you know, let the blood flow and this and that. And then all of a sudden, boom, Zabuza gets up, and I'm like, holy shit, what's going on, right? I just saw this guy take 2 to the neck, you know. Well, we find out very, very quickly over here that they went and just kind of pulled a, it was pretty cool, man. They pulled a smoke and mirrors magician type of trick. This Elite Shinobi ninja, first of all, we wind up finding out when it takes the mask off, is a little girl, right? Is a young child, little girl, and obviously works with Zabuza, and in whatever form or fashion, I don't know, because, you know, she goes and she's calling him like master and that sort of thing, or like sir, you know, basically like having some respect for him. So anyway, he's just like all pissed off, and he's like, why'd you have to hit me in the neck and this and that, you know? They go on to explain that there's all these other different vital points that you could hit, where more or less what happens is he was pretty much just knocked unconscious. I mean, he was kind of knocked half into death, but he's able to recover, and most people would take about a week to recover from this, but he's much stronger, so it'll take less time. But what it did is, if she had not come in and done that, Kakashi would have finished him off and killed him, right? And obviously there would have been certain doom and death for him. But however, she was just poised and waiting there in case things swung against him and not in his favor, to be able to do that and to save him. So definitely very cool and clever in the way that now Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, Kakashi, and Mr. Tazuna, they're all hanging out at his house thinking everything's fine. That they're thinking that this guy was taken out, you know. So I thought it was very cool the way it was depicted and done. So got the picture of Tazuna there. I really love this, though, because you get this whole page building up to it where it's looking like she's going to go and start to dismember and then eventually burn or destroy the body, whatever. They just explain what they do. And all of a sudden, Zabuza's just jumps up, scared the shit out of me, man. And he's like, enough! You know, I can do it myself, you know? And he's like, oh, awake already? And I just love this whole thing, how it describes everything and why, you know? And it is pretty cool, you know. She's like, and he goes, you needn't have targeted the vulnerable areas of my neck just to put me into a death-like trance. Any number of other points in my body would have done, you know. And she's just like, oh yeah, but you're such, and then he goes, you're such a sadistic little brat, you know. And she winds up explaining, though, that, you know, oh, I don't want to mar your perfect body, Zabuza, sir. And besides, the neck is so much less muscular than the rest of the body, I can more precisely target the points. That's why she didn't hit any of these other, like, I guess, you know, pressure points, or like what would be perceived as killing points, death points. I mean, I don't understand it all completely right now, fully. This is just what I'm gathering from it, is that they were able to go and to do this, and whether she targeted him there or one of these other points that he was talking about, it was able to put him into a death-like trance. And it was one of those type of things where he was actually, but there's isn't there some kind of, I think there's some kind of pill or whatever that you can actually take, some kind of type of like a medicine, like a drug that you can take that'll actually go and stop your heart, and to like a coroner or anybody checking it, you stop breathing, but then you can be brought back, you know, within a few minutes, you know what I mean? It's a very short period of time. And I don't know, I've seen it in a lot of like spy thriller type movies and stuff. So I think it was in like a Hitman game that I played once. So I'm not even sure if it's like, if that's like legit real, you know, but that's what I kind of compare it to, is she hit one of those vital points where it didn't kill him, but it gave the appearance of death. So very cool stuff. The chapter ends up shortly after that, though. Of course, she takes off her mask. We find out that it's this little girl. And then she goes and she says, oh, well, you know, I'm only a child. The mist is lifted, this and that. And then we go and we get the whole, you know, and he says, you know, next time I'll break the Sharingan spell, you know. And then the last page is Kakashi going and kind of waking up and like, what the? You know, it's like almost like he had a bad dream of that or something. He's got this bad feeling. And Naruto in the group where they were trying to go and pull off his headband and see his whole face, you know. But it's kind of cool at the end how he says that, and he's just like, there's something I've overlooked, something big. And that's how the chapter ends off, you know. So it's like Kakashi's got that sixth sense, that feeling that something's going on, but he doesn't quite know. And oh boy, it is just so So much fun. Cannot express in words. I mean, I think this is like the 4th or 5th chapter that I've read and recorded the review for today. And of course, once you get into the editing process and everything down the road, whatever. It's one of those things where like I would normally stop after a few because I find a point where I can stop at, and I was just so amazed at the end of the last chapter how everything flowed and the fight and everything, and then at the end I was like, I need to find out who this mysterious person is, and then I found out who the mysterious person is. Now it's like, oh shit, Zabuza's alive, you know? Very cool stuff. So my chapter question, though, for you brothers and sisters that do comment, which I always appreciate, and of course I would like you to leave the answer to this question in the comments down below, is what did you think about this mysterious character that wound up posing, obviously, as this elite shinobi, you know, part of this task group that's tasked with bringing down rogue ninja from their village of the mist? What did you think about that whole thing? Personally, I think it was a clever plan and how it was enacted and everything like that, and it was really something that I didn't see coming. You have to understand that all of you that have read 500 or 600 or whatever chapters up till now, you know all these type of things because you've read it. But put yourself in my shoes. You've read 15 or 16 chapters, and you're not reading ahead. You're not cheating. You're not looking things up on the internet. You're not talking to other Naruto fans to find out what happens. You don't know if this Zabuza was a minor character that really only appeared for a few chapters, or if this guy is an overarching antagonist that appears for the next 400 chapters in different forms and everything else. I don't know. I really don't. So that's kind of some of the fun and the magic of what I do, at least in my opinion, because I really don't. I have no idea what's going on. So when you see me amazed by something, it's because I'm fucking amazed, you know? And so far it has. It's been fun. It's been amazing. It's been a cool journey, and I've only taken a couple steps. So feel free to hit the thumbs up, the like button if you should think that I deserve it. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. And we will look forward to catching every last one of you. I'm counting all of you in the next Fun Nation.
Do you hear or see the name Victoria's Secret and think to yourself, what the hell is that bitch hiding? If so, check out my Facebook and Instagram pages.